All righty. I think I am live. I should be live on LinkedIn. And if my streaming platform is on point, it possibly will filter into our following on YouTube, which if not, I will share later on. I'm just going to give this as a couple moments and just like get everyone warmed up. I'm getting used to actually doing lives on LinkedIn. I see several of the connections that I do it, but I do not TikTok or Facebook many moons ago. So I'm just going to give it just a couple moments. Instagram is like an easy live thing because you can kind of see who comes on, but when you use like a platform, it's a little different. So I'm going to go ahead and get used to the formula, but I want to bring lives to business owners, founders, CEO about this upcoming tax season because it is very, very different. We now have legislation that has been put into place last year. It is officially 2026. How could I even just skip over that? It's like almost as if I have to get to the point. So I need to slow down and wish everyone a happy new year. And the reason why I will tell you this, and this is for my spiritual clients, they have let me know why I operate the way that I do. And if this does not resonate, please just bear with me because I will get to the nitty gritty of the topic, which is, tax strategy is a leadership and not a technical skill. That is the official title of this. I'm a Capricorn and I have some fire in my chart, and it is obviously Capricorn season. And most of us really start our season in the summer, maybe in the fall if we're late, but we really, if we're business owners or if we have leadership positions or if we're in the educational realm, we really begin a couple months before the actual season. And so we tend to not even think about the new year because we are the end and the beginning of all years. So we've been doing this since probably winter solstice, celebrating the new season because that's when Capricorn starts. And all of my spiritual clients, and I do have a host of them, will remind me of my cycle and of business execution and mindset as it relates to how I move. So I apologize. Happy New Year. Last year was very interesting. I took some time off. Like I mentioned before, had a broken ankle. That was an influx. I'm preparing my son right now for graduation. This is why 2026 exciting for me. I will be an empty nester. And so I'm like, y'all don't know. Three sons, 27, 25, and 17. It has been a wild ride, but I love them very, very much. And they're pretty much the reason that drives me because it is about legacy building when you have such a significant numerology type number, three sons, and they're full of um, joy. They bring me a lot of joy, and I'm always happy to talk about them. And they do come in and out of the business dealings. As my oldest is the co-owner. There's the Midwest in me, co-owner. We always make words into one um, of a business of the business, the tax business. All right. So, with that being said, again, because I want to make sure we give credence to this new 2026, this year is so full of promise. And I want to deliver a positive message after such a chaotic time. It feels like we're even off to some chaos when I look at the news feed, but I have to always start off. You have to be responsible for your own economic system despite what those headlines are saying that's coming out of the administration, out of our White House, despite the collective panic about how money isn't in an overflow. If you read books from every downturn, from every economic cycle, those who can be calm, have some sort of strategy, vision, remain in clarity, who can actually create their own ecosystem will be successful. And this is one of the reasons why I have made some shifts in the last year or so since the pandemic, an evolutionary shift as to in 2026, I'm creating more partnerships. And then we have deemed here at DNA Financial Solutions that this is the year, because last year was wealth deliberation. I did that 2 years in a row. This year is wealth engineering. You will be engineering over the next couple years an economic system, especially for my Gen Xers, my Zillennial, that's me, and millennials, especially our older ones, some sort of way to create financial flexibility, because I don't use freedom as much, but that flexibility that can get you to the word that we don't talk about enough, which is a retirement portfolio. So if you didn't know about my background, I am a co-business owner with my eldest son. All of my sons own businesses, by the way. But what's so significant about my story, Midwesterner, I'm a generation away from a cotton and soybean farm, so that is definitely part of it. But my mom and dad were blue collar workers with professions. My dad had a union, electrical engineer, and they retired at 52. Tried to do that, didn't work. Tried to get your degree, go into corporate, kept getting laid off. So here we are, business owner, and now I'm taking my very own ride journey onto retirement, as I also will be celebrating the big 4-8 tomorrow. So just wanted to give you a little bit of background. So I opened up a master class with that in mind for business owners. One of the things that I like to do is create high level mindfulness when it comes to the finances of those who I work with. You do not have to do every single thing that's related to your bookkeeping when you work with me or my team. You do not have to know every tax code in the books, because I definitely don't. But what's important to maintain a sense of sovereignty in your business is to have at least a high level awareness of what a profit and loss is, what a balance sheet is, what a 1040 is, what you're reporting, how are you determining your salary, when should you go into a corporate standard, and how this supports turning your business into an asset that you can either sell or pass on to the next generation. Because God knows you do not need to be working for the rest of your life. I have been in the grind mode. Now we're formulating a more flow type of business where my sons will take it over, or at least we can put it in a position to sell it. We're working on some things, right? Because taxes is not easy. So with that said, topic at hand is, the tax strategy is a leadership and not just a technical skill set. So I don't want CEOs to be overwhelmed with just one more thing to do. I want them to actually feel empowered when it comes to their finances. So with that being said, just some top things that we're going to be going over inside of the masterclass. I literally own the URL that will actually, where you can log on, and is Crack the Tax Code. And I'm super proud of that, because this mastermind will not only go over the expenses that you need to track, give you resources on how to track those expenses. We all know that meals, supplies, office expense, all those things are without a doubt things that you need to have. But you want to make sure that you are capturing the things that this big, beautiful bill has put before you. There's very many provisions within it that you track it on the right worksheet, if you will. I'm just using some general terms so it doesn't overwhelm with the technicalities. When you do that, then you could take advantage of the depreciation allocation that's for you. You can go in and examine the things that you've invested in your business, and they can actually become assets. You'll be able to learn a little bit more about what those loans mean when it comes to your balance sheet. And, lenders are looking to fund you. Okay. You'll also be able to learn about how to make sure that your books are telling the absolute truth in my very own tax journey, in helping other people with their their refinement of their books, they're finding that they're overstating their income. And that is done when you have either some offenses like commingling, where money is going into your business account that should not be. Maybe for some reason, there's things that are connected that are personally intertwined, and it's dumping into your business account. And guess what? That revenue is going to be taxed. It's looked at as revenue because AI hasn't gotten to the point where it can deem that. Sometimes loans are put into your business account, and if there's not payment being made on it, it's going to reflect revenue. I want to make sure that people understand these three elements that I'll go into on how to make sure that your income is not overstated and that your expenses are reconciled appropriately, and that they're not disallowed. Those are the things that I want you as a business owner to take away from my masterclass. Again, I opened up the wait list. It is going to be in the description. It is important now more than ever to have so much more discernment, have so much more mindfulness, because if your goal as an established business owner is to increase capital, somehow leverage your business as more than a form of revenue, and be able to turn this into something that you can sell or create partnerships where you can ease your operations in the business, this is the class for you, because this is the class I probably would have built for myself. It is a higher level. It is not about gimmicks and sound bites that you constantly see on TikTok, that you have to dispel. No, this is one that will get you into straight order. In addition, the Big Beautiful Bill has a couple of credits that they have introduced that we'll be going over. These credits will also lower your tax liability. And I think these credits, some of them have been in existence, but we want to introduce them to you and make sure that if you have certain types, for example, employees that can qualify, that you're onboarding them in the time frame that you can capture the credits. Sometimes HR departments, if that's not built out in a big corporate sector, smaller businesses lose out. And I'm finding that, hey, like when I'm going through a new client onboarding, you onboarded 5 people, you took them through payroll. Some payroll companies actually have it. You just have to communicate with the payroll company, these services that will actually activate these credits. So I'm about 12 minutes in, and I don't like to overwhelm folks. But again, join the wait list. Registration will drop next week. I have some wonderful tools that I'll be talking about to help you align that. Of course, we offer services. We do also offer preliminary consults for before the season, so we can take a look at how to set you up if you're feeling kind of wonky in your business. We're here to help. DNA Financial Solutions. Again, enjoy the first couple of days of this new year. Prepare in January. This is the month that sets the foundation. Just do those things. Do not wait to do this until March or April. You can do a lot of the preliminary stuff to just set the tone for the year. So with that being said, have a blessed and abundant day. And then I will be back. We'll see if we can do this daily so you can get some value from me. And we'll just take it step by step for 2026. Have a wonderful day. And again, be blessed and abundant.